Jim.
I have the power.
Inkpulp Live.
I have the battle cat.
We are the power.
This setup I have is so sensitive. I don't want to get like too crazy and knock this
Jim
camera or like break a light right here. Or, so, Shawn, I'm going to carefully put this ruler down.
Very gingerly, Jim. Gingerly.
Okay. The studio is not going to break in half. Everything's fine. Welcome,
What's up,
Inkpulp
fellas?
Live episode 75. The Masters. It's not 75, but it's the Masters.
I was going to say, what show. Is it really?
No. I think we're at 25 or 26 or something.
Yoga. They call me the yoga master.
This is episode 31.
31. Thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us.
Yeah,
we're going to draw and rock out. Happy belated birthday to Shawn Crystal. Birthday on Monday.
Thank you.
If you're a greedy man, Shawn, you can just milk this and just say it's my whole birthday week. So everybody just
Jim, I'm gonna be super greedy and say it's my birthday month and my Kickstarter is all wrapped into my birthday. So to wish me a happy birthday, spread the word about the Kickstarter.
For sure.
That's what I think we should do.
It's your birthday gift to Shawn is going and supporting his beautiful book.
Yeah, or just telling others about it even.
And
because I know the communities come out and, oh no, Bandit's in the house. That's my kid.
Oh shit, Bandit, what up, dude?
What up, B? I gotta give a big shout out to my awesome wife and my Bandit and Zoe, my kids. They made my birthday so awesome this year. That was really sweet of them.
They took you to a strip club.
They did.
That would be funny. Like, that actually isn't out of the realm of possibility of you guys just getting super high and going to like not a ratchet strip club, but like kind of a cool, fun strip club.
A burlesque show. I could definitely
burlesque.
see my kids wanting us all to get high and go to a burlesque show. I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
I could see that. Or the Claremont.
The crystals are going to the strip club.
Good laughs. Family values, baby. All right, Jamie, you've got it up. We might as well talk about it. We were talking about a little bit. Kickstarter's going well. We're about halfway. We're 2.5 weeks in, week and a half left. I've got some cool stuff planned and announcements for next week. We are almost at the third stretch goal, which is going to get you guys some free stickers. Stickers of what you have? Yeah, you guys have seen this. Jamie, let's show the people the print set, because today I released a nice close-up of the final image. You all saw the Doom print, which looks cool. We all saw the Pretty Tony Ghostface Killer print. And now we have the next one is Method Man Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. So thank you. So these are the prints. So a few things. When we hit the next stretch goal, everyone's going to get a sticker set of all three of these. That's the next stretch goal. And then if we can get the campaign up to 35K, anyone who's pledged at the print set level and above is going to get a free printed copy of Magenta, my sketchbook, which does not have the same stuff in it in Cyan. It's a totally separate, different book. Hopefully you've all downloaded it. If you've pledged on my Kickstarter, you have the link to go download it. And I'm just hoping we can get up there. Actually, I'm super stoked. I want to hit that patch too. That Inkpulp patch will be dope.
You got to do a patch. Patches are fun.
Yeah, I definitely want to hit the patch. So let's get popping on the Inkpulp campaign. But I'm getting a lot of good feedback on the prints today. I released that Johnny Blaze one, and people seem to be digging it.
Tell your mother about the campaign. Tell your Uncle Joey. Tell your Baba. Tell your mechanic, Lewis. Told him to spread the word around the neighborhood about the Inkpulp project, the Inkpulp Kickstarter. Get on it.
There's the book. Look at that pretty baby. Stylish nerd. I agree with you. Let's do everything we can to get it up and out there.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. So these are some new previews of the book. Jamie's just moving right ahead. So go back, Jamie. Did we show a different one or just the cover before that? Okay. So guys, today I made some new previews of the inside in the book. I wrote a little essay on why I love traditional media. And then scroll forward, Jamie. Here's the brushes I like to use. I oscillate between the three of these, but mainly it's the Raphael.
Sexy.
At the top there. Here's an inside look at two of the pieces. So these are double page spreads in the book. The Craven and the Phoenix. You can see the thumbnails and there's lots of explanation. The Phoenix below, you can see a bunch of stuff I was trying to figure out, which is pretty cool. The
Dude,
Craven,
that piece is beautiful. That piece is beautiful, man.
Thank you. Jim, do you remember me doing that? That was like my second painting, I think.
Yes.
Second or third.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. Like I haven't seen the image in a while.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And that Craven too. Those both were very early on.
It's super dope.
But I talk about my whole painting journey in the book and spell it out. And then what else we got, Jamie? Oh, this piece. This is when the paintings are starting to catch fire. I got a really good commission, a big one for Byron, and he wanted he wanted a Galactus Silver Surfer. So I went absolutely bat nuts crazy on this one. And this is a big 15 by 20 inch piece.
I think this image needs to be wheat pasted on the wall inside of a comic shop, like super huge.
That'd be awesome.
So any of our friends, retailer friends out there, you can buy this piece off Shawn. He'll send you the high res. Then you have to do all the work of actually printing it out and doing the wheat pasting.
That'd be.
But Shawn will give you the permission to put it in your shop.
But this is the piece where I discovered the power of that leaf green color. That after this, I used it in almost every painting for a long time, and I still like have to force myself not to use it because I want to use it. It's so acidic. What's the next one, Jamie? And then the cat. This is one of the early paintings too. This one, and I wrote about this. I really wanted to make, like, if you watch the old Looney Tunes cartoons, I wanted the background to feel like that, like a pencil sketch drawing with just like color washes around it, because that's what those old Looney Tunes backgrounds look like. So this was a fun piece.
Yeah.
Little Chuck Jones action, if you will.
Love that vibe.
That's so good, man.
Grazie.
Beautiful.
So that's my hype pimpage hour. What you got, Jim?
Support.
Just quickly before we move on, Sean, do you want to plug?
Oh yeah. What were we gonna say?
The discount link in the description.
Totally, yeah, guys. So the Inkpulp community, you get 10% off the book. It's a secret link. People who go to the Kickstarter without this link won't see this option. So you guys can get that. And I saw someone say that Galactus's hands were giving off some serious Dave Johnson vibes, and you are 100% correct on that. I noticed as I was drawing it, that was like my Dave Johnson like DNA coming out.
I can see that.
Yeah, it was dope.
Dave Johnson, he's been known to make a couple drawings or two.
He's okay with the like techie sci-fi stuff.
New guy on the scene. We're gonna be looking out for him. New guy. Dave Johnson.
New kid on the block.
we love Dave.
All right, Jim, it's your turn.
Guys, please sign up for the pre-launch. Defective Comics presents The Arachnid Enforcer, the second book in my Defective Comics superhero parody line of books, and more art will be coming soon, and a PDF teaser will be coming soon through Shawn's Kickstarter.
Yeah, we'll have some announcements. Actually, we'll announce now. We're going to have a special pop-up live show on Sunday. We'll air the commercial for that in a bit, but we're going to have some cool announcements because the Inkpulp family is getting behind the Cyan Kickstarter, and we're going to have some cool things for everyone who's contributed, who's pledged. And like Jim said, one of the things will be something from him. And then the other one I'll surprise you with on Sunday.
Yes. And yes, the Arachnid Enforcer and Savage Street Vigilante do exist in the same universe. Yes.
Oh, shit. Jim's building.
It's my universe, baby. It's an extended universe of Freak City. For real. Okay, and then what was the other stuff? Chris and I dropped a new Trash Movie Bonanza episode, us talking about the super awesome and weird 1997 sci-fi horror movie Event Horizon. Check that one out. Jamie still killing it with each episode of the series, editing and cutting in all the clips, and the show's awesome. Shout out to Chris Pierce. Comic Tropes, you know him. Oh, and Shawn just had an appearance on Comic Tropes on Monday on Weekly Spinner Rack. That's right there where Jamie's pointing, that you can watch Shawn's interview and them talking about comics, art, and life.
We had a really good talk, me and Chris.
Yeah,
I definitely encourage you guys to see that. And also, I was on Comic Art Fans Live last weekend on Saturday, and I did a painting demo. And if you didn't see that, go check that out. That was a lot of fun too.
That's on their archive too. Guys, my YouTube channel, check it out. I've been doing solo streams, Autobio Comics, Grrl Scouts 30th anniversary, and the deep creator cut of Savage Street Vigilante. Also, 12 years of content on this channel of weird promos, teasers, behind the scenes stuff. So cruise over there when you get a chance, check out stuff. We're still planning on making future streams, deep dives into my body of work. The next one's going to be on old sketchbooks of mine.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, my kids have been going through your channel. They watched the Grrl Scouts live action pilot last week.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Yeah. It's a crazy thing. TeePublic, cruise over, buy some merch. You can select the size, style, t-shirts, hoodies, short sleeve shirts for summer, Girl Scout shirts, shark shirts.
Lots of great designs.
LA ink stains, psychedelic cat, astro traveling, girls butts shirts, and Savage Street Vigilante, of course.
This reminds me, we are going to have some exclusive Inkpulp merch for everyone towards the end of July. We're going to have I'm going to have a drop.
It's coming soon.
Together. Yeah, it's coming up. There's going to be some t-shirts. They're being made right now. I should have them in the next few days, I believe. But sweet. Yeah, so get ready. At the end of July, there's going to be some exclusive Inkpulp merch popping.
And I didn't realize this, but today, right now on TeePublic, it's $15 for a shirt.
Oh, there you go.
So that is happening right now. We didn't make that up. It's $15 for a t-shirt. That's a pretty good deal.
Nice.
I feel like we're really pimping hard tonight, Shawn. What are we doing here? Anyway,
well, you know,
I'll show two more things, and then we'll start.
I mean, look, we've had guests for like the past 2 months. We haven't had a solo show in a while.
That's right.
So we got to catch up.
This is our Deaf Poetry Jam show tonight. We're not even drawing. We're just gonna scat and freestyle.
Skibbity-bop-a-doo.
The ramifications of art. Guys, July 9th, my first cover for Post Malone's Big Rig series drops, issue 1. Cruise by your comic shop, grab that. This is incredible colors from the legendary Mike Spicer, who's coloring Daniel Warren and Jorge Corona's Transformer series. He's coloring all my Big Rig covers. He's a fucking genius. Give a shout out and love to Mike Spicer. July 9th on this bad boy.
That is a beautiful piece. Mike is killing it on you.
Dude, I love working with him. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's really doing some amazing work.
And then my heavy metal cover, issue 2 of Heavy Metal. This is a massive publishing select cover. This drops on August 6th. So this is an image I drew in 2022.
Yeah.
For the relaunch of Heavy Metal that happened back then, but then it didn't happen, and then it went into limbo, and now they hit me up, and the cover is actually being used. So
nice.
Heavy metal, dude. I'm doing a cover for
that's awesome.
Heavy metal.
That's a
magazine.
bucket list thing right there.
That's
badass.
That's a fun feather in the cap.
Hey, good day. Good day, Lauren Marshall's in the house.
Oh, speaking of Lauren, we have some things happening. Should I?
Let's wait on that.
So mailbag in a bit. You want to draw for him a little bit?
Oh no, you have stuff from Lauren. Yeah. I thought you were talking about something else. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
As soon as you're done talking about your stuff. Yeah.
Let me start with the first thing I got was from Matthew, who is the editor and publisher of Told to Tell magazine. So he sent me the first couple of issues of this. This one has our boy Brandon Graham in it. This is second issue, Lust, Sex, Desire. But Shawn, these books are...
Oh, dude, Brandon's so good.
These books are really dope.
What are these books again?
So this is something...
It's like an anthology?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So you see the lineup of talent on this first issue.
Yeah.
So just a really cool, man, indie anthology, beautiful series. So he sent these to me because he was wondering, if I would be able to contribute something or do a cover, and I need to connect with him and let him know.
Dude, that's awesome.
Sure. Like, look at this.
Look
shit,
at that.
Man.
That is awesome.
And then I love this.
Chuck D.
And then next to it, Brandon Graham. Written by Brandon and his girl, Casey. And Brandon's stuff is just amazing.
Yeah, Brandon's amazing.
Dude, look at that with the Cheech Wizard.
Oh, nice.
And Flaming Carrot
going on there. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, these I just got these today, and these are great.
Yeah, these are awesome.
I don't know if this is full of like sexy stuff, but yeah, just the design and color of everything, it just looks really...
This is awesome. Is this the same, like a different issue of the same book?
It's the same book.
Yeah.
Different issue. Actually, let me hype him up. Like, where...
Dude, that one looks really good.
Like, where do people get this?
Yeah,
Matthew, if you're in the chat, can you let us know?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah, these are dope.
Contact 3T publisher at Gmail or at Told to Tell. So this guy's making really good looking stuff. Support him. And then Shawn, I believe Hellhole, I got the physical copy sent to me, and then we were also going to promote Thane's Kickstarter as well, correct?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So I obviously got the physical copies. This book is awesome. It opens with an image of a toilet, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Dramatic way to start your book. I've met Thane at various comic book conventions. He's kind of legendary for doing these beautiful paper.
Oh, yeah. I've met Thane, at Dragon Con.
Look at that.
These are
super
awesome.
tight, incredible drawing. And then you unfold it to see what is actually inside the monster. Like, that is super badass, man. And this one with the tower, like the medieval tower stees, and then you open it to see what's going on inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, Jim, do you have any of his newsprint ones like this? Jamie, can I get the screen real quick? Do you have any of these of his? Let me show you guys. These are awesome. Let me zoom out. So these are these like newsprint strips he has.
Oh yes, I do have those. I just not handy.
It's just one sheet of paper, but it's this whole like story, and it's just they're just incredible. Like look at that, dude.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, and it's just one sheet of paper. And on the back, he's got a maze, Skull Island.
Oh, I love it.
And it all ties into the story. But I got 2 of these. I think these are super cool and a really fun way to get a different way to do comics. It's nice.
It's so badass. Real quick, Jamie, can I get the camera? I was just gonna say fanebenson.com, and then we can show the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So this
I'll put the
is
link in the chat as well for anyone that wants to check it out.
So he's doing is it a pay what you want?
Yeah, you can get the print book for $1 minimum.
Yeah. That's an incredible deal, you guys. The book is awesome. I mean, send him $5 or $10 and get the book shipped to your door, you know. Pay what you want.
He wanted to try and see how the pay what you want model went. I know a lot of people have had a lot of success with that sort of model.
It's awesome, man. Cool. Support Thane. He's doing some awesome, innovative stuff, man. I dig it.
Definitely.
Check it out.
And then I got 2 more, Jamie. Crocodile from Nathan Danilowitz. Indie black and white self-published book. Splattery George Pratt kind of vibes.
That looks sick.
Yeah,
TwainEnterprises.com, guys.
Nice.
Check out, support Nathan's work. Look at that. That's dope.
Yeah, that is
dope. Gives me hints and vibes of Steve Bizzette's Tyrant comic book, the dinosaur comic he did in the 90s.
Oh, dude, I forgot all about that book.
The book rocks.
It just reminded me all about that.
So yeah, Nathan, thank you for sending this in. Just want to see if there's any more info. No, but check him out. I mean, like I said, it's TwainEnterprises.com. And then Shawn, speaking of Australia.
Yes.
Original art gift.
Oh my. Oh no.
Original art gift from a friend of ours named Lauren Marshall.
Lauren, you rock.
Savage Street Vigilante. I now own the original. This will be framed and go up in the studio next to the rest of my perverted original artwork. Lauren, thank you so much for this. I can't thank you enough. It's unbelievable. I'm tempted to frame this and actually just hang this above my toilet in the bathroom so that people are forced to look at this as they stand and take a leak. Like it, not to insult the art, but I just thought it would be funny
but let me also speak to this.
This is what you're looking at.
Bathroom
when you're pissing.
Yeah. Jim's bathroom is decorated with some amazing original art in there. There's a giant Troy Nixie in there that is mind-blowing. So that is no insult. There's a lot of dope art in that bathroom. Trauma poops.
Yeah, I just realized that, and this is a humble brag, but the piece that is hanging above my toilet right now is an original from another Australian. It's an Ashley Wood piece, and it's an old creepy oak tree, and it just says
beautiful
October 31st. So it's a Halloween 8x10 drawing I got from Ash, but maybe the deal is I'll every 6 months I'll change out the Australian original art. Lauren Ash.
There you go. There you go.
Now, Shawn,
you know what? Jim, it might make your toilet flush backwards if you do that.
Oh my God. This is a winner. This is and then Shawn, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there.
There's more.
This is a gift to Shawn Crystal.
What?
From Lauren.
No. I love
Shawn, what a mad dog. You've created something truly special. Wanted to share a piece with you to keep as your love of craft inspired this piece. Appreciate what you do. Cheers, Lauren M. Lauren, this piece will not make it to Shawn. This will be kept by me. That's not true.
I'm on the next flight to murder Jim and make sure that I get that piece.
This will be
beautiful.
This will be hanging in my studio
all the
as of
dot
tomorrow,
patterns? Are those dot patterns done by hand? Oh my God.
This is all painted on, dude. This is all painted.
Lauren, you're a beast. That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Lauren.
I didn't want to take it out of the plastic because I'm obviously going to be giving this to you. Maybe. Right. I took this out because I'm definitely framing this. So
Eric, yeah, it's beautiful. Lauren, if we get it, if we make it to Australia, I'll do a painting for you. Eric, what are you doing? What is Eric doing? You don't need to do that, Eric.
Oh shit, dude, Eric, thank you, man.
And the price to get on the show is $150. It's not $50, but you don't need to do that.
You can just send me the other 100.
And then Shawn, one final thing. Lauren sent us copies of the Phantom comic book.
Did Lauren do the covers or the interior?
Yes. Yeah. A little taste of the Phantom world here in Australia. Drew's based still owned by King Features. Cover wrap by me. So she did
nice.
So there's one for each of us, and I'll show off real quick.
That's so
those are great. I saw those on your social media, Lauren. You did a great job.
Lauren's the grand master of Australian comics, and she's going to use her powers to get us invited out there to Australia.
Definitely. Jamie, are you ready for my Australian accent after I get back?
I'm ready. Anything but Scottish. Anything but Scottish.
We agreed before we hit record tonight, no accents.
Yeah.
This is a strict rule for tonight.
Yeah. I have a muzzle on tonight. There's definitely a muzzle on me tonight.
Okay. But Jamie, I wanted to address something real quick because it's going to bug me if I don't. The last show we did with Brett Bean, and you made a comment of why do all Americans do an angry and aggressive Scottish accent? And after the show was over, I remembered the answer. I know what happened. Americans are dumb and don't know anything.
Is it Shrek?
No. Let me explain. No. Americans are dumb. Americans are dumb, and in the 80s and 90s, before the internet, their only knowledge of Scotland was kilts and bagpipes, and then it's all Mike Myers' fault, actually.
Yeah, that's SNL. What I was gonna say.
So on SNL, it started with him doing a skit where he played a Scottish guy who owned a store. And his motto is he would scream at people, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. And it was him screaming this and being an angry Scottish guy. And then, West Coast Dave knows. And then after that, he started playing the angry, loud, obnoxious Scottish guy in the Austin Powers movies.
Yeah.
So Jamie, it's Mike Myers' fault. It's his.
Well, also Mel Gibson, because he was screaming freedom.
That's the only.
Oh, that's true.
We wake up every morning, scream freedom, go for a jog. Every morning. That's the daily routine.
Jamie, do Scottish people hate that movie?
No, not really. It's mostly in like just. I don't know. At least I can only speak for myself, but I just think of that as like this is what Americans think of Scotland. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that type of shit.
The Hollywood version.
I feel like 90% of Americans think that's still how Scotland is, that we're cutting about in kilts and fucking swords and horses. Like,
oh, you're not? I thought you were in a kilt right now, Jamie.
Well, I've got a new horse getting dropped off tomorrow. So. The only time we wear kilts is
how do you have the internet in Scotland?
I've got a wee guy at the back door just shoving coal into the router. He's working hard, man. He doesn't get paid enough.
Jamie, you guys have technology when I thought it was all being used for bagpipe energy.
Just try to evolve the
That's how they
bagpipe,
make
that's it.
energy. You know how we have windmills? They just have people playing bagpipes generating energy for all of Scotland.
That would be incredible. It's not a bad plan. But Jamie, I wanted to have full closure on that issue for all of us and all of our loyal fans that watch every single episode. A lot of DMs coming in since that episode. A lot of faxes to my fax machine saying, "Yeah, why? Where did the angry Scottish thing come from?" And I did a bunch of research, and I was like, "Fucking Mike Myers, man."
I honestly might just start perpetuating the stereotype, guys, because it seems like that's how you make money. I might just come on here, start screaming. You know what I mean? Wear a kilt.
Jamie, the fatal flaw of that thinking is you said make money and come on here.
Right. Okay. That's true.
You're gonna have to go on one of them there money makers.
Tom Williams said, was train spotting Scottish? The accents were definitely thick.
Yeah.
Train spotting was very Scottish. It was in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So that's an Edinburgh accent that they do in that movie.
Is that which city do you live near, Jamie? Is it Glasgow or Edinburgh?
Yeah, I'm closer to Glasgow. Yeah.
Jimmy, let me ask you a train spotting question. This might be way off, but
okay.
Train spotting with their slang and all the street ethics that are going on in that movie, would you equate that to Guy Ritchie's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, his first movie, with British kind of thug culture, Cockney accents?
I feel like Train Spotting is a much more damaging representation than Lock, Stock was.
Yeah, that's true.
Lock, Stock made them all look very cool.
Yeah, Lock, Stock was like a cartoon. Train Spotting was very real.
Train Spotting was very real for a certain period in Edinburgh.
I guess I meant it as both movies were sort of hip, but depicted these debaucherous street, unsavory type characters.
Do you know it's a good movie? Have you guys ever heard of Filth?
No.
You should. So do you know like Train Spotting is a book by a guy called Irvin Welsh?
Yes. Yeah, I read the book.
So $10 from West Coast Dave says, "Here's some for Jamie's Iron Brew Fund." Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Wait, someone just asked, how long has Shawn been left-handed?
Oh shit!
Just today. I started today. How am I doing?
Yeah.
Also, Amado said, "What time is it for you right now?" It is midnight, 12:30 a.m. There's a movie called. Dave says Filth is a great movie. Yeah, it really is. So Irvin Welsh wrote other books as well. He wrote a bunch of books, and Filth is an adaptation of one of his other books. James McAvoy in the lead. Very good movie. You guys should check that out.
Oh,
shit. Okay. Nice.
Jim's. Wait, where'd that go? Oh, is Jim drawing a three-way between Godzilla, King Kong, and Skeletor?
Oh, I should have explained. So I started this piece on the Jake Smith episode, the Godzilla themed, and then I'm just finishing it by making it a Godzilla universe meets Masters of the Universe, mostly out of laziness and being fried from drawing nonstop all this week.
I would never accuse you of being lazy, Jim. I would accuse you of being too busy.
I wouldn't either, but Shawn, I was just going through all my shit and I'm like, I'll just add on to this piece that I already started. It feels lazy, but
no, it's not. I have a promise for you, the Inkpulp community tonight, that pretty soon I'm going to up my game on the show. I've been doing these smaller ink drawings because they're fairly easy to do while I'm having conversations. But after seeing what Jim's been bringing and what our guests are bringing, I got to step up my game. We're going to get into some bigger pieces, some paintings and all that shit. That's coming.
I think just, you don't need to step up your game. I think it's just everyone approaches it in a different way. It's
Yeah, but
it's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky to do this shit, to draw, talk, host a show, concentrate, look at the chat.
Yeah, for me, it's more about having the time to prep the piece. But once my Kickstarter's over, I'll have more time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Kickstarter takes over your life, man.
Oh, it really does.
And that's for real.
Flintworks Art said, Jamie, surely Gregory's Grrl is the ultimate Scottish movie. I've never heard of that. So that should answer that question.
What's it called? What?
Gregory's Grrl? I've never heard of that movie.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Dave said, "Will you paint me like one of your French girls, Shawn?" Dave, what French girls? I'll paint you like one of my bombshells.
The famous crystal French girls. Guys, we have a guest in the room.
Oh, we have a
surprise visitor.
We have a secret guest. Who do we got? Let's see. Let's see if the audience can guess who our secret pop-in guest is tonight. You guys, anyone guessing? Put some guesses in there. Come on, we seriously do have someone in the waiting room, a secret guest tonight.
We got a secret. Ooh, Eric Canete. Could they be right?
Oh, that's a good guess. Could it be Eric? Oh, another Canete. Another Canete. It's like you guys are on to Matt Berry. Yeah, it's Matt Berry. That's Ewan McGregor. That's our secret guest, Ewan McGregor. Let's bring on Ewan McGregor.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't mean to do it.
Oh Jesus!
I apologize. It's just the name made it happen. Machine Gun Kelly. Lauren, he is found. Lauren, we're going to be talking about finding Eric pretty soon. Because we've been looking everywhere.
Our secret guest is Goth Merengue.
We're going to some dark places tonight, people.
I'm Goth Merengue, horror writer, astro traveler, Filipino artist. Here to make you fucking piss in your pants tonight.
Did I tell you my kids got into that show and couldn't believe it? They loved it. I knew.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. Are we bringing in Eric or not? What the fuck?
Yeah, bring him in.
Oh, okay, all right. Jesus.
Hey. Oh, jeez. Eric's got. Oh my God.
He's already finished. He's already finished with a piece.
No. Oh my God, Eric, that looks great.
Hey kids, thanks for letting me draw with you.
Dave, I think Dave's gonna want to buy that. West Coast Dave, you're doing a trap jaw. He's gonna be stoked.
You guys are great. Did I hear an earlier promise that you guys won't be doing accents today? Is that a early Christmas?
Seems to have been broken, Eric.
Eric, that's a rule that I established before we hit record, because I don't want to throw. Well, no. So Jamie, we're all a bit tired tonight. Jamie's feeling under the weather, and I just said, let's just relax on each other and no accents tonight.
Yeah.
Let's just.
And yet,
yeah, here we are. And
yet,
Jamie, I'm sorry. That was just a reflex. It was.
That's what they all say, Shawn. That's what they all say.
No, I can't say Ewan McGregor's name because it sounds so wrong when I say it like Ewan McGregor. I have to.
Well, when you say it like that, 300%. That sounds wrong. What I'm saying is, don't say it like that.
Right. But when I say it, I put a little flair, a little Scottish flair.
But in doing so, you broke a promise, Shawn.
Yeah, but I know, but it was unintentional, and I pulled back immediately and apologized.
I'm saying, how can Jamie trust you now?
He never should have to begin with.
Exactly.
The trust is broken.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know it was
the trust was never there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a constant sort of like re-gauging of trust. Anyway, how are you gentlemen doing?
I was going to point out quickly, West Coast Dave wrote your name, Eric, right? And I'm pretty sure that he wrote it how I would pronounce it. And I do butcher your name. Your name is a hard one for me, Eric. Your last name. Because I butcher it. You guys say you guys are like Canete. It sounds cool, and I'm like Canete. It just doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, no, it sounds awesome.
I'm staying out of this conversation.
Oh God,
I'm not getting involved. This is me. This is restraint, Jamie.
Now you show restraint.
I appreciate it, Shawn. I appreciate it.
Jamie, you admitting this is like fucking chum in the water for Shawn being a shark. It's like him just being like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to make fun of Jamie. What the fuck?" And then he's trying to contain himself. So don't
Wait,
say.
I don't get it. What does Shawn do and to what Jamie does? I don't get the joke. Sorry.
He just makes fun of me, Eric. He makes fun of me a lot. He bullies me. Some people would say. Some people would say that's not an accusation.
It's never making fun of you, Jamie. It's love.
What is it?
It's love.
Yeah.
It's
When it's open hand, it's love, Jamie. When it's a closed fist, it's abuse.
I forgot that, bro.
Tell your therapist.
Let's spend some time this show talking about our love of Masters of the Universe.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wait, what brought this subject matter on? What was that thing?
Jim just suggested it, and we were both like, "Oh yeah."
I love Masters of the Universe. I think in the beginning, when Shawn and I were coming up with themes for just the shows in general, we had a list, and Masters of the Universe was definitely on the list because all the characters are so fun and weird and bugged out that we just never. We haven't gotten to it yet. So
yeah.
You know, why not? No reason, just revisiting an 80s classic. And another He-Man is such a crazy example, man, of us just being, you know, kind of hoodwinked as children in the 80s to be like, here's a cool new thing. Here's the show. Here's the toy. Here's the breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
Annoy your parents until they buy you all of this shit. And then in 2 years, it'll kind of be forgotten. And then you'll be addicted to the next thing, which is either, you know, Mask or G.I. Joe or Transformers.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, you guys know how we all got
before we move forward. Jamie, do you know what Masters of the Universe is? Did you have any? You're like 18, right? 18, 20,
I'll take that as a compliment, Eric. I'm familiar.
Wait. So when Eric makes fun of you, it's a compliment. When I do it, it's an insult.
That's not making fun. He's just pointing at my youthful charm. Exactly. Yeah, I'm familiar, Eric. I'm familiar. I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I'm familiar.
Okay, just making sure. All right, continue, Jim. You were saying hoodwinked.
I think that was the end of it. Us just kind of being, you know, duped as children of the 80s when they figured out, you know, the golden formula of toy, comic book, cartoon series, breakfast cereal, and you're going to get most kids, you know.
Yeah. Now, mind you, are you looking at that through the lens of adulthood, which potentially could have sort of a, because here's how I see it. It was such a glorious time for this type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Right. I'm just being cynical and silly. But I loved all this shit when I was a kid in the 80s. I was a G.I. Joe fanatic. I was a Transformers kid, and I dabbled in Masters of the Universe as well.
Sure.
So
they blew the toy market to the next level. That my first discovery, I'm pretty sure the toys were the first thing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember,
did it come with the cartoon context for you, Shawn, when you were growing up, or did it?
I mean, I loved the cartoon, but my earliest memories were the toys were before the cartoon, and I remember seeing them for the first time and seeing Skeletor, and like my mind couldn't believe what I was looking at. And all the baddies that went with him. Yeah. Even Man at Arms looks so cool. Like I was just I couldn't believe how cool these toys were, and the anatomy, the giant overly rendered sculpted muscles. I'd never we had nothing like that until that came along.
Yeah,
and then I remember getting Castle Grayskull for Hanukkah one year, and that was it.
Oh shit, you got the castle?
Those kids.
I did have Castle Grayskull.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know,
that's a next level toy. That's
exactly. We're way past that stage of me, having to be jealous, but I can't stand you right now, Shawn.
Right.
Right. Because you got that toy. You know, that was such a.
Did you have the figures, Eric?
That's all I could afford. That's all I could afford back in the day. There was, what was it? What were they retailing for? Maybe $7 USD.
Yeah, I was going to say
local
like
Kmart.
$10. Yeah.
Good question. Yeah. The other thing too with Masters of the Universe that I don't think we were conscious of as kids is I didn't know who Frank Frazetta was as a kid, and I
oh sure,
I think I knew the Schwarzenegger Conan movie, but really I think He-Man introduced a lot of us to the idea of the super buff muscle fantasy. Barbarian type of character. And it wasn't until later that I saw Frazetta that I was like, oh, Frazetta is like a blueprint in a strange way for Masters of the Universe, as strange as that is to say. It's partially true.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, I could definitely see an argument for that.
I mean, Conan definitely, right? Like, because that's as the lore goes, that's what this was originally intended to be, right?
I didn't know that.
Misremembering.
No,
that?
educate us.
There was. I am going to butcher this story, but apparently, from a rights holding perspective, they wanted to make Conan toys, and Mattel just could not secure the rights for it, and so they just turned him blonde and did all the switched up the accoutrement. I think that's what if I'm remembering it correctly. I'm sure there's something I'm missing there, but. Yeah, it was supposed to be a Conan pitch that didn't go well because just the licensees wasn't very cooperative. I guess that's the best way I could say that. And then they switched it up, turned it into the beloved franchise that we're drawing now.
Yes. And then the live action movie Too Little Too Late by Canon Films. Like that was the big swing and miss as far as the Masters of the Universe stuff went. That the flick came out way after the sort of interest and hotness of He-Man. And because I went with my buddies to see it in the theater and it just wasn't He-Man. It was I like watching the movie now. It's total schlock.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a fun B movie.
Sure.
But at the time we were not impressed with it in the theater.
That's the best way of saying that.
Which my audio cut out for a second. Which movie are you guys talking about?
The Masters of the Universe
one. Yeah.
Oh,
playing the titular character.
So
Now here's the thing. Like I've learned a little bit. Again, as I accidentally or purposely go into He-Man production lore, one of the big prohibitives of that movie was that they couldn't have everything on Eternia, right? They were basically filming everything in a rock quarry somewhere in the middle of wherever, right? And then they said there's just no way for us to afford everything. I guess conceptually they saved everything for the third act. But if you take a look, they shot the majority of that on Earth. They kind of like demysticized it, so to speak, right? Because you don't see all the cool stuff from the show, right?
Yeah,
man. Totally.
Eric, that's sort of a trope of like B movies and schlock movies is the trope of like the movie's called Space Alienator or something. But then because of the budget, it's like, well, the movie's about this guy in a alien outfit running through the woods in California. Right. There's no space. There's no, it's just, and that is what you're right. That's what happened with Masters of the Universe. They were like, well, this story is going to take place on Earth for the most part because we can't afford to build the sets of Eternia. And,
for sure. But listen,
that was the bummer. That was the noticeable. Even when we were kids, like that was the noticeable thing of the flick.
Right. Now, criticisms aside, Frank Langella was freaking awesome as Skeletor.
He's amazing.
I mean, he played it up. He was not. He did not. He treated it. He treated it like a real job. He wasn't sitting there. He did. What a waste of time for me. He was great.
Right.
I think he still considers it to be one of his most fun roles. Like it. He actually has been in interviews and documentaries where he's like, no, I think that was a super fun and awesome. He's like, I got to play a comic book supervillain. Like my kids were super excited about it.
Sure.
It was something like, oh, finally something that dad is doing as an actor that the kids can relate to.
Right.
But he's an award-winning actor. It's just so funny that he's in this crazy ass makeup playing Skeletor,
And the makeup was done so well, right? Like the Skeletor application makeup was so great. It looked so good.
Yes.
At least from my recollection. If I were to look at it again now, maybe less so, but nostalgia is doing a lot of heavy lifting for me.
I mean, wasn't Skeletor? Oh, go ahead, sorry, Joe.
I think it holds up. I think him and the costuming. I remember holding up for Skeletor. Like that was kind of a legit thing for the movie. You know.
Yeah. Now, who was the actress with those stunning blue eyes that was playing Evelyn?
Yeah.
She has the same sort of lasting effect on me as the princess on Flash Gordon. You know?
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh my God, yes. That's exact. Yeah.
Someone in the
that
chat
feeling
can throw her
Who's
name
that?
in,
Yeah.
please. But dude, that actress, I don't know if you remember this. She was the main lead opposite of Rowdy Piper in They Live, the John Carpenter
No,
movie.
is that true?
Yeah.
I have memory hold that movie.
Yeah, it's because those icy eyes, man. Like you don't forget those eyes.
It's right in the same league as a Kirstie Alley type, right? That sort of face structure with the icy eyes.
Yeah, totally.
That was a particular look, I think.
Someone's commented Meg Foster.
There you go.
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. This is our tribute show to Meg Foster.
As I'm drawing Trapjaw. Meg Foster, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Was Trapjaw your favorite, Eric?
Well, outside of He-Man, I'll tell you a little story about, when He-Man first came to the Philippines, which is when I was exposed to it for the first time. Right. So every toy store was pretty much sold out, except for one, and I can't remember the toy store's name or I'd call it out. But there was one in the, this is when they used to still take the toys out and put them on display cases, right? This was of toy display. But there was one He-Man that was left. It was and it had a melted hand. For whatever reason, it was a weird thing to sort of like display because it did not represent the toy very well. But they didn't make it available for sale because it had that defect. It had like a semi-melted palm. In the He-Man toys, there was one that was meant to hold the weapon, and then there was the one that was just the empty hand that could potentially hold a shield or some other thing.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the one that was left, and the lady didn't want to sell it to us because, again, for that defect. But my aunt, who I was living with back then, managed to convince her, and so for the longest time, that was the He-Man that I had.
You had the melted hand.
I had melted
nice.
Hand. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
He was
you still have the melted hand, Eric?
No, but I think I could recreate it from memory. I played with it for so long.
Dude, this is like the origin story for a schlock movie where like Eric is a serial killer who melts people's hands. All because he's an action figure.
It's got to be in space, but the budget won't allow for it, so it's just in my backyard.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, He-Man was a huge deal for me watching it as a kid, right? That is I'm going to sit down every, like Thursday or something and watch it again in the Philippines. So I can't exactly recall what the programming was, but it was so awesome because, like it was just a fantasy world that had never been exposed to before, which was it had a strange balance of like fantasy, but also technology. Because if you remember their vehicles, it was pretty much like hard surface, and to Jim's point earlier, we didn't know it, but what we were being sold to, we were being advertised to pretty heavily, but heck, I didn't feel that way. I was just watching it episode in, episode out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't conscious of being duped or anything because I was really into all this stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. They were the best toys ever.
I'm trying to remember how it was, how annoying the annoyance level I was with my mom and on like getting all this stuff. I don't think I was too obnoxious about it, but
yeah.
Because the 80s were just so rich for all of this. It was like, I know G.I. Joe for me came before Transformers and He-Man.
Right.
That was a pretty early 80s thing. And I feel like, He-Man was more like what, 84, 85?
I couldn't see that. My brain is broken.
Yeah.
I mean, once those toys were out, that was all I wanted.
I couldn't afford them for very much, but I traded an awful lot for them. You know what I mean? Like every Christmas, I would always get that toy that potentially was the hot toy of the holiday, right? So my relatives and or my cousins would buy me something, but I would always end up trading for He-Man toys, regardless of how far back they went. You know,
nice.
I remember the coveted one for me was. Do you guys remember Roboto? The guy with the clear plastic chests with the gears inside of it?
That guy was awesome. Yeah.
My friend would not surrender that for the life of me, you know, and I was willing to trade up like 3 or 4 different figures for him. Or he was the guy that I wanted. Could not. Yeah, I didn't get him until much later in life, which at that point the luster had kind of worn off, you know.
Yeah.
Smash cut to Eric on eBay last week, finally getting it.
Dude, it's taken all of my control. I have 2 He-Man figures now, and I can't remember. You know, they have these different lineups now, or these different collections. Like there's classics, and I can't even remember all the designations. But I have 2 now that are pretty dang articulated, and I'm keeping myself at He-Man and Skeletor. There's 2 of them sitting at my desk. Hold on, let me grab them.
Go grab them. This is the nerdiest we've seen Eric. This is like a new level.
Yeah, I didn't know Eric's love. When Eric said you guys are doing He-Man, I love He-Man, I want to come on. I didn't realize he really loves He-Man.
Forgive the dustiness of this. Here's the Skeletor that I have, right? Look at that.
You go.
I bought
Plus
these
that
little
staff.
pedestals. I bought these pedestals, you know, after the fact, someplace else. You know, they didn't. I don't think they came.
Oh, they didn't come on them.
And then here's the He-Man one. Hey, bro.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
look
awesome.
Like, look how great and articulated they are now. You know.
Yeah.
Now here's the part that irks me. Here's the part that irks me. In the original toys, and I don't know how this is in lore. So people who read the comics that came with them. The sword of power was only 1/2 of what the heck happened to the focus there. The sword of power was only 1/2 of the situation, right? Hey Jamie, get off of my image so that I don't embarrass myself by having blurry pictures.
Actually, go ahead.
The sword of power is only 1/2. So He-Man had one and Skeletor had one, and I think by having both of them, you can use them to open the front door to Castle Grayskull. I think that was the thing. I don't know how that worked out in the comics, but do you guys remember a side, sort of like right in the middle of that He-Man hype, another cartoon not by Filmation was called Black Star? Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do remember Black Star. Yeah,
he also had that same sort of situation where he would combine the 2 swords and it would form into something, you know.
Okay.
And I think that's why they wrote it out of the show. And in my case, that was so cool to have Skeletor's sword kind of link into the He-Man sword. They neglected to do that because I think they abandoned that storyline altogether. Hold on, let me reset my camera.
I remember having the toys where the swords connected.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm saying they don't have that now in these most recent.
Here's a little trivia for you relating comics to He-Man. What animation visionary got their start drawing the He-Man comic?
Bruce Timm.
That's right.
Bruce Timm, baby. That was one of the most exciting things that suckered us into buying the He-Man toys. Was you got the comic book with the figure.
Right, I'm back.
You got you know what I'm saying? You got the bonus comic book with the He-Man toy. That was huge.
Now you guys remember Bruce Timm, which I never did, but if you take a look at that stuff that Bruce Timm did for the comics, they're not the Bruce Timm that we know, right? Like
no, not at all.
Oh, not at all.
What felt like 19 years old.
If you give me a second, I might grab it. Hold
on. But what I do remember were all the different Filipino artists that did those comics. From Alfredo Alcala and Rudy Nebres and all those guys, they were doing those comics from back in the day. Their ink line was oh yeah. There's a couple in there.
Dude, that's interesting. I didn't really remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. The Filipinos represent.
That's a bit of trivia. Right?
That's awesome.
What are you looking for, Shawn? His pages?
There's
cool.
Yeah, they're coming. Here we go. Bruce Timm, baby.
Dude, unrecognizable. You would never think. like from back in the day. But dang, look at that! I don't. Does it mention there, Shawn, from recollection, how young he was when he did those?
Hold on.
I think I remember him saying. And the only reason I bring it up is like, imagine how young he was and how good it is already. You know?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Completely.
Totally. I'm sure it's in the. Yeah, it's probably in here. I just can't see it quickly. Here's some more pages too.
Shawn, what's that book called?
Dude, this was a great series that Tomorrow's published called Modern Masters. I have Bruce Timm. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, I love Tomorrows. Those guys are great.
Yeah. I have Kevin Nolan.
Yes.
I have Mr. Walter Simonson and our fellow essential compadre Arthur Adams. And they put out other ones too. These are just you can see here. I got 3, 4, 6, and 8. But these are great. They were long form interviews. I mean, that's what the whole book is.
Huge. Yeah, it's great. Who is the editor there? It's Eric. Who is it?
Eric Nolan Wethington.
Yeah, he's great. He's typically back in the day when they used to do shows, right? Eric would be the one that would be manning the booth.
Okay, they should
always talk to them. You know,
they should be at Heroes Con this weekend in Charlotte. They're always there. I believe they're based out of North Carolina, and the main publisher is John Morrows. That's where Morrows comes from, and he's a really good guy.
Yeah, he's a great.
They of course do the Kirby Collector magazine.
Yeah. I always
they used to do like Alter Ego and a bunch of different other magazines that focused on. Whereas these are like the classic illustration, the legend guys. They would do more contemporary dudes. You know.
Right. Yeah, great stuff.
Like comic book historians, basically, and
just
I know they do
appreciators of the medium. You know.
Oh yeah, and the Kirby stuff. I know they do a lot of things with the actual, in conjunction with the Jack Kirby Museum and stuff like that. So,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
It's all tied together. You know, they're all. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. Someone asked about Heroes Con in the chat. None of us are going to be at Heroes Con this weekend, unfortunately, but I can't recommend that show enough. It's my favorite American comic book show. It's fantastic.
Someone's asking if Stan Sakai worked on those He-Man mini comics. Does anyone know about that?
I think he did lettering. Yeah.
Oh, he did the lettering. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of weird pixelation that's going on Jim's stream right now? Jamie, can you see?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
That might be
the Ethernet cord.
It's been solid up till now. I think it'll fix. There we go.
Oh, there it goes. It just fixed.
There it goes. Yeah.
It fixed itself. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
It hurt us talking about it, and it got insecure. Guys, Eric, what were you talking about? I just want to go back to something because you were talking about the movie, a horror movie concept of you have a toy store, or what was it again?
Wait, what happened? No, we were talking about the melted hand, and that was going to be the thing that Shawn was giving me a hard time.
Your low budget schlock. My idea would be like the Filipino toy creeper, and the movie it's just you, and it just takes place in toy stores, and it's just you like fucking up kids' toys in toy aisles.
Dude, the preview is a kid reaching into the back of the toys because the figure he wants is not in the front, and something grabs his hand, he pulls it out, and it's all melted.
Yes, there you go.
You guys practically wrote this movie. I don't understand why we're talking about it and not making it.
So that's the film.
Do you remember like having to fish through all the hanging figures to find the one you wanted?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
With He-Man, it was a weekly sort of regiment, right? It was like this weekly thing that we would do, at least for me anyway, with a bunch of my friends.
With He-Man, what was the figure that was just always available. Like you could not find certain ones, but
right.
I feel like with all toy lines like G.I. Joe and stuff, it's like, yeah, you can't ever find Snake Eyes, but you're gonna find
there's like 1,000 Dukes.
Doc or whatever. You know.
Doc. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Orko maybe? Well, I'm drawing.
No way. It couldn't have been.
No, who I want to say it might have been Man at Arms. I remember like he was a cool figure, but I remember seeing him all the time in the store.
That sounds right. Yeah. Man at Arms. What a weird concept.
I know. Which toys were your favorites that out of that universe?
You guys were making fun. You guys were giving me grief, busting my chops a little bit when I stepped away to grab my figures, and I was like, "Oh, this is the most I've ever heard." Eric freak out over, nerd out over something. This is it, you guys. He-Man was my thing when I was a kid.
Eric, I didn't know that about you.
Oh yeah, it was the biggest thing to me. It is the thing that made me want to continue to draw superhero. Like basically fantasy. Escapist. Bros. You know?
Yeah.
He-Man was it. That was even as I was watching Super Friends back in the day, Super Friends didn't really make me go like, oh, that's something I'm honed in on, like I want to keep drawing all of those Alex Toth designed, blah, blah, blah. But when He-Man came out, I was like, what in the world is this? And those were the figures that I would go outside and like find a giant rock and because I'm not like Shawn, I can't afford Castle Grayskull. I'd pretend that the giant rock was Castle Grayskull and have little adventures there,
With your melted hand,
my melted hand He-Man.
Oh my God.
I'll say something that I'm really, really ashamed of. So a neighbor down the street actually had a He-Man that was unmelted hand. Okay.
Did you do the switcheroo?
I did do the switcheroo.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely did the switcheroo on that.
We've all been guilty of that.
Oh my gosh, it was awful, man. I feel guilty to this day about it that I switcherooed that kid.
You guys, I did that with Matchbox, and I straight up took my neighbor's Speed Racer Mach 5 Matchbox because it was so rare. I just kept asking them if I could have it or trade for it, and they just wouldn't give it up. And one day, I mean, this is just straight thievery. This is wrong. I just took it and left in its place, one of my Trans Am hot rods or whatever. But I was like, the Mach 5, it's coming home with me today. Like, I just can't not have it. And then I think they called me out on it, and I did eventually give it back to them. But I was like, it slipped into my pocket. Like, it just fell into my...
Jim left a car that was sculpted out of hummus. They're like, I know who did this.
Exactly. Yeah, it was an Arab chic car, Shawn. That was a camel car. Yeah.
That was the dead giveaway. Who stole it?
Exactly. This car smells like shawarma. What is it?
It must
Jim,
be Jim,
I gotta say, earlier today I was really craving Jerusalem Cafe. Like I kept thinking about it, and I was like, "What would I get? Would I get the flatbread? Would I get the shawarma wrap?"
Dude, I still eat there once a week. It's part of my routine. That's
that's good stuff.
That's a legit spot. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all done our little illegal, I guess, things when we were kids with like toy. Like you just get fixated on something. And but I was a big Speed Racer fan, so I just could not.
So you couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, Mad Cave is putting out a Racer X comic now. I saw David LaFuente did a cover. It was so dope.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Like I was like, it almost made me want to email Mark and be like, dude, can I get a Racer X cover? Like that'd be fucking awesome.
I would be down to do anything in the Speed Racer universe. Shawn, that could be a show. Speed Racer theme show.
We should definitely do that. Definitely do a Speed Racer show.
There we go.
Did you grow up watching Speed Racer?
Oh my God, yeah.
Did
you not, Eric?
No. There were very few things, at least of that era. It's weird how the majority, like I think when I started watching cartoons consistently, was Transformers G1. That's not the same era, right?
No, this was before.
Right.
This is
So
way
keep in
before
mind that was right. The only reason I got that experience is because that's when I moved to the United States. Any other time, everything was being filled. Like the reason why I even know about Gotcha Man and Battle of the Planets, because it's one of the few cartoons that made it to the Philippines when I was a kid.
Yeah. So
just quickly, guys. Sorry, we got a $4.99 super chat from 9 Monkeys. He said, "Eric, have you done any work on Filipino superheroes like Dharma?"
No. So no, I never have. I think I may have drawn her once as a commission, but I didn't have the affinity for that character. I did not grow up sort of watching that. It's a show, right? It was a live action show.
Which one are you talking about?
I was too busy. Dharma.
Yes, it was in the Philippines.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But 9 Monkeys is Ryan. He's a friend of the show, and he's an incredible artist. He's teaching a class right now. Actually, I wanted to take it, but I was too late to register for it. But it's
Ryan Berry in the house. Everybody, go to his
it's a class
social
on
media.
Ryan, what's the class called? It's about how to draw biomechanical anatomy. I forget what you called it, but it looks great. It looks really good.
So Eric, real quick before I forget, in the early 80s, growing up, my exposure to Japanese animation, I didn't even know it was Japanese, but in the same block when I was a kid, I believe the same hour, it was like Battle of the Planets and Speed Racer.
Yep, same here. Same here.
That was my exposure. And then a couple years after that,
Voltron.
We were getting Robotech, Voltron.
Robotech,
And what else? Yeah, Voltron, Robotech.
Yeah, that was it.
And was there another one? I'm trying to. But Speed Racer and Battle of the Planets blew my mind as a kid.
Yeah.
Like that was my jam.
Yeah, Speed Racer. I loved Speed Racer.
I caught up to Robotech once I got here, but yeah. But dude, I was a chronic, Masters of the Universe fan. That's all I would do is, again, on the weekly, playing it every single day of the week leading into that next episode,
Oh, right.
Reenacting that previous episode, right? Like, ooh, what happened that week? This is how I would write it better. That's the other thing too, is like, I didn't like the way those things turned out. I don't like that episode, I think I'm just going to write it.
So real quick, Ryan's class is called Creating Mechanical Anatomy. Is anyone in the chat registered for the class? I want to see this do well for Ryan. It looks like a great class.
Also about the Dharma stuff, Ryan said that his wife said it was a comic book as well.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Hey, listen, truth be told, I was too preoccupied with Linda Carter as Wonder Woman back in the day.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That was
we all were. We all were.
Yeah.
And she still looks good.
Oh, yeah. Turn around, pretty lady. Spin around.
So what was your favorite figures, guys, with the Masters of the Universe stuff?
What about you, Shawn? What did you?
So
did you
Wave One,
first of all, or did you just get them?
No, they were my favorite thing ever. I collect.
Okay.
I mean, Wave One, my favorites were Skeletor and Merman.
Yeah.
I was more into the bad guys. But Wave 2 is when I really started to freak, when they put out Trapjaw, Mini Faces.
Right. Right.
And can't even remember some of their names. And Ram Man. I remember having Ram Man. Triclops was awesome. Yeah, Ram Man. Do you remember one of the figures was just like a samurai dude, like with a top knot?
What is that guy's name?
Oh.
He had he was the foil to Fisto, which you shouldn't say out loud on YouTube, or else you're gonna get demonetized.
Right.
But yeah, no, he was the foil to it. Did I tell you guys that I worked on He-Man or Master Universe?
No, tell us about that.
Yeah. I worked on the relaunch in 2000, whatever that is, year 2000.
Was that the Kevin
Okay.
Smith one?
It's the what?
Was that the no Kevin Smith?
No. Kevin Smith was
that's
like
way after. It's way,
was like 2 years ago.
That was so recent. Yeah, in 2000 they relaunched it. The Four Horsemen left Todd McFarlane's what do you call it? Back in like they were the guys for McFarlane's toys, right? Mattel scooped them up and they said we're gonna relaunch the entire figure line, and I think it was through them that they were designing all of these figures. And so they pulled that, to Jim's point, they pulled the formula, which is like, we have new toys coming out. We need a 30-minute commercial for it. And they relaunched He-Man.
Oh, sure.
And my buddy brought me on initially as actually, no. This was right around the time I was finishing up everything in Wildstorm and comics. And my buddy's like, hey, we need help storyboarding this stuff. And I moved over there at a production called Mike Young Productions. And I storyboarded a ton of those episodes, man.
Wow, that's awesome.
Was that your first job back in animation after comics?
Back in animation, yeah. I burned all the bridges. The funny thing is, I burned all my bridges in animation leaving to go into comics, right? I was working on like Men in Black and Godzilla and all those different shows. And then went into comics, couldn't hack it because I wasn't as fast as my good buddy Dustin Nguyen. Shout out to Dustin. And, I came back to animation hat in hand and nobody would hire me. Nobody. Except for my one buddy, Jay, who became the storyboard supervisor and supervising director of Masters of the Universe, that relaunch. And he said, you know what? You draw a ton of comics. I'm going to teach you how to storyboard. I had done some storyboarding for Peter Chung on Aeon Flux already.
Right.
But I got my feet wet back again in that level of, because it was so boys action adventure. There were so many different shots. There were so many different drawings. At one point, I storyboarded one episode had like 400 3-panel pages.
Whoa.
So
God damn.
And nothing was being done digital, so everything was being done through how would you call it? like post-it notes or like whatever. And that was such a fun crew. Such a fun crew to be a part of, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What an adventure.
Yeah.
I've
done a thing or two.
You've done it all, man. You've done it all. You're like, that's right. And good night, everybody. You just bounce. Mic drop.
And I'm out.
That's right, suckers.
But it was a dream come true to work on that show because again, it's hearkening to my youth, remembering all of those figures, those toys, the shows. I'm like, oh, holy crap, man. I get to draw this now, Somebody's paying me to draw this for a living.
Dude, it seems like our generation has such love for good barbarian fantasy stuff, but we don't see a lot of creators making it now, like in the comics.
Oh, sure. Well, why do you think that is? Oh, wait, before we go, you said you had your favorites as far as figures are concerned. Jim?
Oh, yeah. Many Faces and Trapjaw were like my ultimates. I really liked Ram Man was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm being invaded by a giant insect right now. Look at this, Rochus. Look at this guy.
Oh, damn.
What the fuck is that? He's coming at me.
Damn.
Dude, he looks aggressive.
That's some Atlanta type shit.
Yeah, dude, yeah. This is not a human's world. Let me get this guy out of my studio real quick. You guys take over the show real quick.
We call that an Atlanta crunk bug.
he just spits out a giant puff of weed smoke when he feels threatened.
Oh my god! Of course, that would happen in your studio, man. That's.
All right, Jim. You collected the figures. Shawn said Manny Faces. Did you have a particular one that you liked?
I was definitely Skeletor. Definitely Lockjaw, Trapjaw. What that you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Trapjaw. I was into oh shit, who else? And who's the Moss guy? Mossman?
Mossman, yeah.
Yeah, Mossman, yeah.
He was awesome. He was sweet.
That was it. They just flocked Beastman's body with Mossman.
Yep, totally.
Right?
That was
the
right.
Genius of those toys is
they were the same body.
Yeah, pretty much. Minus the, they would cast the plastic in a different color and put a different sort of chest harness on them and call it a day.
It was the ultimate. It was the ultimate recycling. Yeah, the ultimate.
For sure.
You know who was cool? My favorite good guy was that guy who was like a hawk, like a kind of like an owl or a hawk dude.
Oh yes,
it's Stratos.
Stratos, yeah, because he had really cool eyes. I loved his eyes.
Yeah, he had what do you call it? Beast Man's body too, man. He had just a different head sculpt.
Yep, totally.
Look at that shit. That's the stuff that I'm totally nerding out based on those figures, man. You said like Manny Faces was one of your favorites, right, Shawn? He had the same legs. Yeah, I love that one. Those were the same legs.
Yeah, totally. I love Trapjaw. I really like that toy. And Trapjaw had the arm that came off. You could put different weapons on, right?
Yeah, but it made no sense because he never bent. Like the way I'm drawing him now is not the way he is in the toy, which is he never bent at the elbows. He was just like a big stick coming out from his shoulders, which is weird.
Right. Totally.
But yeah, for me, let me think. I mean, Skeletor seems like it's a basic one, but and he
and for
almost don't want to mention it because
he's
it's
the
so
best.
base, right?
He's just
the best, and his staff was like the coolest.
Yeah,
I remember.
You guys are so metal. That's probably the reason why you're like,
oh, for sure.
That's what made me metal.
Yeah,
I think Skeletor made me metal.
That's true. Yeah.
Let me think. Trapjaw, definitely. I can't keep the Trapjaw and Triclops, two of my favorites.
Yeah, Triclops is awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah. So we even saw the She-Ra movie in the theater when it came out.
There was
Did
a
you
movie.
really?
Yeah, and I felt strange about it, but a buddy of mine, I think we went to go see something else with his family, and his little sister wanted to see She-Ra. The other thing we were trying to see was sold out. So we were like, it's in the He-Man universe. I guess it's cool to go see She-Ra. And then, halfway through the movie, I'm like, this isn't very cool that we're here. This is weird. Even though we were still kids, but I was like,
school about this.
Yeah, come on, keep it on the down low. We saw She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Yeah, nobody tell anybody at school we went to go see this movie.
Is she He-Man's sister?
Sister, yeah.
That's the mythology.
That's how it worked. I don't know how she ended up on the other planet. I don't recall because I was as much He-Man. I watched. I don't know. I can count on two hands how many She-Ra episodes I'd watched.
Sure.
Only
that was another
back to back, right? Like, especially in the Philippines, they'd show He-Man right afterwards She-Ra.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that was also super lazy and derivative of just make a female He-Man, basically. Just
Well, they were like, we're missing half the market with these toys.
Right.
It's smart. Somebody in chat mentioned it earlier. Did you guys ever watch that series from Netflix called The Toys That Made Us?
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah, they go through a great. I mean, it's super truncated, super condensed version of how certain toys came to be, and they talked about She-Ra in there for a little bit. I think it might have been season 2 or something. So it's really interesting.
Jim, Chris said, yeah. You guys should definitely do that.
Oh, Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
For trash movie? Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Yeah. That needs to be dissected. And I know that William Stout, famous illustrator, comic artist, did a lot of the production design on.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And he's in a lot of those canon documentaries, the behind the scenes when they talk about Masters of the Universe, and he seems just very frustrated talking about the movie. The budget just kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and there's a lot of good material out there about. It's funny because I think the behind the scenes on something like Masters of the Universe, it's probably more fun and more interesting than the actual movie.
Yeah, probably.
Because the movie's kind of boring. Like since it's so much of them on Earth, and it's like Courtney Cox and her story, and
oh, I forgot about that.
It just isn't. It's like, what is this? This has nothing to do with He-Man.
Right.
You know.
Jim, do you remember? Was that a Canon Films? Is that what it was? I can't remember what the production company. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And once you know that, it explains a lot.
Exactly. Right. Like that kind of unlocks. Like, oh yeah, that tracks. That's their kind of. Yeah.
I think they made reasonable budgeted schlock movies that made a lot of money, like Breakin'. And then their big mistake is they got greedy and they made Over the Top with Stallone and Masters of the Universe and Superman 4. And they spent way too much money on those movies. And the movies were still schlock and didn't perform well. And they lost their asses on those movies, and it eventually bankrupted the studio. But they swung, like they did a big swing. And I think when they got Stallone for Over the Top, he was paid, I believe, the highest rate of any actor ever at that time.
From them or generally?
In movie history. Someone can look that up. But I think that it made all the papers like, dude, Stallone is getting paid like, I don't even know what the number was at the time, 20 million, 30, whatever. And it was unheard of at the time in Hollywood for an actor to be paid that for a single movie. And then the movie sucked and didn't do great. I mean, it's an arm wrestling movie, you guys. Like, it's like, this isn't Rocky. Like, what? This is so weird.
Crazy.
It was 12 million, by the way. I just looked.
12 million. Thank you, Jamie. But I guess that was like a record, at that time for a single movie.
Somebody in chat is planting a seed in my brain about doing sort of a Masters of the Universe comic, man.
Dude, you should do a bootleg. Master of the Universe bootleg.
Oh shit, there you go.
Dude, that would be so
awesome.
much fun.
Kickstart it. That would be great.
Who has the license for Masters of the Universe now? Does Hasbro own it? Or
I think it's still Hasbro. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they keep releasing every year. There's something new that comes out. Not the least of which the Kevin Smith one, right?
Yes.
Jamie, what quote did you just have up top? It said, with the success of Jim's something.
Yeah, that was about Eric doing a bootleg Masters of the Universe comic.
Oh, success of could we see Eric? Oh, dude, Eric, you got to do that. Oh my God, that would be insane,
kids. That would be so much fun.
You just go nuts on it.
I'll just take one of the episodes and just like, in as much as I told you guys, whenever I do the, play with the action figures, I think I'd rewrite that better. And I'd do this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just do that.
Do like a 48-page comic and do it. All right, people. This is the big, exciting part, Jamie. Everyone loves to see this happening. Ready, guys? Booyah. People are
Shawn,
loving this.
I've gotten my fair share of people asking where that stamp comes from. Are you in the business of advertising it, or?
Well, this one was Jason Shawn made a few and he gave it to friends.
Okay.
But he's not selling them. And then he saw me he saw my post and saw the reaction people were having, and then he was like, should I put it into production? And he's thinking about it. But there's another guy who has a website called hold on, I'll tell you. But he made a bunch of them and he's selling them. But he's got a lot, a lot to choose from. It's called hold on, let me open my Instagram and get it out.
Have you tried these for yourself at all, Jim?
Yeah, Jason actually gave me a set, and they're awesome. It sucks. I lost my set in my travels after he gave it to me because I went to Belgium after New York a couple of years ago.
This wasn't recent. Is that what you're saying? It's like this.
Yeah, he had these 2 years ago in New York.
Oh, holy cow.
So it's been something that's been around for a bit. It's just, I think Shawn just sort of started using it and giving it more shine. But yeah, I mean, Jason should just put these in production.
I think we found I think the one that Shawn's about to help highlight. I thought those were from his set.
No. So the site is called repeaterstamps.com. And if you go there, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. It's Jarrett Hartnell. He's an artist that I know on Instagram, but he made a full-blown business of this, and it's repeaterstamps.com. So I would go there and start getting them. I promised him I'd talk about it on the show.
Nice.
And here we are.
I'm ordering some from that site to try those out too.
Hey, not to give, JSA any grief, but he gave it to his friends. He neglected to give any to me. I guess it's a New York exclusive friendship, JSA.
You got to go to New York Comic Con, Eric.
Yeah. I don't gotta, but I'm in.
Talk shit in person to Jason. Speaking of Jason, he has a
we should
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
Zoop that's happening right now that we should have promoted at the beginning of the show.
Yes, we should have. Absolutely.
Everybody needs to get on that. Jamie, do you mind just finding that? It's Jason, Shawn Alexander. Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, this is, and the work Jason did on
so
this
cool.
Is
it's so
gorgeous.
Good.
It's so good. He was going cartoony. I talked to him about it a little bit. He said
I've got it up on screen here if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
Dude, look at the drawing. Oh my god.
Yeah. Definitely pick this book up before it ends.
What tab are you on, Jamie? Is it on the campaign part?
This is on the rewards.
Okay, go click on the campaign so maybe we can see some of the art.
Yeah.
At the top bar. Yeah.
Here we go. Oh my, yeah, look at this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is so good. Oh, wow, look at that cemetery.
Damn.
Oh, this stuff's incredible.
So the idea was he was doing this for a publisher for someone as a different project, and then the project fell through, and he just wound up getting all the art back, and then he's doing this with Zoop exclusively, right? Mm-hmm. Just as a book.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I didn't know that beginning part, Jim. That's interesting. I'm so
glad I saw him
back, though.
Yeah, I saw him posting about like this was actually being done for someone like a year or two ago, and then that fell through, and so. I mean, shit, man. If he gets all the art back, like, why not put this out into the world?
Exactly.
Look at that beautiful drawing.
Yeah, dude. Jason is a beast. We love him.
Let's call him. Hey, JSA, how come you didn't set aside a thing for me? And it hurts my feelings.
Yes.
Where's my
We need to have him on the show. I just don't know. Like, I have no idea what his schedule is. He just seems.
I was going to say, with that Zoop thing going on, it might be fun to do a show on Scrooge, and have him on while the campaign's going. I don't know. I don't know if we have another show. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I don't know.
It's just reaching out, not enough time in the day, man, to do all this stuff.
I know. We're all swamped.
And with him, I feel like Jason is always working on like 2 or 3 different books at the same time.
Yeah, he is.
Which I don't even know how he does that. And he has 2 small children and a wife. And, it's like, how do you even...
Well, he's got a full-time assistant. That's got to help some.
I was going to say, that's what happens when you love kids. Stop loving your kids. Love them less. They don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't spend as much time with those children.
They don't need. They can do it. You know, they're very resilient at that age. They'll bounce back.
Yeah. Why is Dad not around? He's drawing his funny books.
He still loves you, but
Yeah.
this is bad advice, kids. Don't listen to this.
Don't listen to any of us. Yeah. I don't have children, so definitely do not listen to me.
You are the person that they should listen to the most. Yeah.
Kids, just don't do it.
Yeah. Why have them?
Oh my God. That is one good thing, like with family stuff and like, you know, my little nephew and stuff getting married soon at age 24 or 25. Like no one in the family ever asked my advice on any of this because I'm, you know, still like the irresponsible single guy. So
Yeah.
no one's gonna be like, what do you think, Uncle Jim? Do you think marriage? It's like, what the fuck do I know? I you know.
That's a somebody else question, nephew.
Yes. Yes. I say good luck to you, and I say, let me know when the wedding is, and I'll come out and party with all you
There
guys.
it is.
It cuts to me on the dance floor, like doing like the drunken, like chicken or whatever dance, some sort of dance.
By yourself. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a dance? Yeah.
It is.
Or something,
yeah.
something from Breakin', a dance from Breakin' that I learned from Canon Films.
All right. Hey, Jim and Eric, are you cool if we roll the ad for our
Go,
our,
man, go. Go.
We're doing a special pop-up show, everybody, on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Just to launch the final week of my Kickstarter. Although right now I'm enjoying watching Eric use these colored pencils. Some really cool
It'll
stuff.
be here when you get back. Roll the thing.
Yeah, so we have a commercial. We're gonna put it online tomorrow, but you guys join us Sunday. Jamie, you got that commercial ready to roll? Hey, Jim, man. You know, I'm really nervous, man. We're going into the last week of this campaign. I mean, it's doing okay. I want it to do better. I can't sleep at night. I don't know what to do, man.
Shawn, relax, baby. We're just going to chill out, enjoy a delicious cup of coffee. No theme, no character pressure. We're just going to hang out, draw whatever we want, discuss the glory and magic of your Kickstarter. Keep it easy, baby. Keep it easy.
Okay, man. Okay. So Sunday, June 22nd, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're just going to hang, okay? I think that'll help.
No pressure, man. Everybody can hang out with us in the chat, get down to their underwear, get weird. It's going to be awesome.
So let's all get down in our underwear and hang out on
get in
Sunday.
your underwear on Sunday. Why not?
Listen, I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for both of you, but God, you're such an enabler, Jim.
We get paid, Eric, the big bucks to make those commercials.
That's right.
We're providing a service of
To whom? To yourselves, I think.
of comedy,
To each other.
release, and fun to the world. People, Eric, hit me up often. They say, "I'm very upset about state of the world and economics and
Is that what they say?
and mad cow disease. Like these are the things that people are concerned about." And they're like, "But when we watch your show and your teasers and your commercials, makes everything okay."
All right, can I get a one in the chat if that's true? One in the chat if that's true. If that's what you guys actually contact Jim about.
I've got the faxes to prove it in my fax machine.
Eric, I wanted to ask you about your piece real quick. Jamie, can I see Eric's piece real quick? What is that? It almost looks like you're using like a semi-transparent white.
Where?
In the background?
Where?
Like those
Oh yeah, the flicks.
They're like vertical.
Yeah.
What is that?
This bit?
Yeah,
right
yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
It's not transparent white. I just painted out the oh gosh, the color that's the orange
What
that's
did you
underneath
paint
it,
it?
the
Was
rust.
that acrylic?
It's the acrylic wash.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The majority of this, by the way, is digital.
What?
You guys understand that, right?
No.
Yeah, the majority of this is digital. So I went in my iPad and I, did the majority of the layout in digital, all the color. And I went to my really super, super fancy printer that my wife turned me on to. It's all the stuff that she makes her art prints out of. And I printed it out on this tanned, this warm tan paper.
Right.
It's such great ink that it sits right on top,
Wow. That looks, that explains a lot of what's going on. I see now. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I cheat, I cheat.
It's a hack. You're hacking the system.
It's been a ton of fun because like one of the key things that I run into way back in the day when I was doing like traditional, marker colors or whatever, it's a ton of time consuming prep work, and I don't mind it so much, but when I'm just trying to get the piece out, when I'm just trying to draw and just have fun, and I think that's where I don't know if this is the same for you guys, so it'd be interesting to hear back from you, but like there's a point in which like whenever I see Shawn's doing the brush when he's doing his brush drawings, same with you, Jim, because this is almost like out of both of your guys' repertoire and back pocket, this is your guys' toolkit that I'm talking about, but the prep work is so annoying to me because I'm impatient,
Right.
And it's not that I don't have an appreciation for it, but just when I'm just trying to draw something, sometimes the prep work is prohibitive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It might just be in your
yes.
DNA to do it. But for me, I'm like, I just want to draw it,
Yeah, you're more like an alla prima artist.
I don't know what that means. I hope that's not
Alla
insulting.
prima no, it's not insulting. It's a painting technique where you don't really work in layers. You basically freestyle. Like a lot of it is done landscapes mainly, alla prima. But you just start laying down brush strokes and it's very free form. It's a very difficult way to work. Like you've got to be a real master of the painting medium to do that. And I would say you as an artist are such a command of drawing that I could see how that would work for you. I feel like if I did that, it would just look awful.
I just get bored, you guys. I think that's my kryptonite that I've come to recognize. Oh, I'm bored of this now. I'm going to stop drawing it right in the middle of something. As long as I can kind of keep myself entertained. Oh, I've never done that before. Right?
Yeah.
That's when it becomes.
I think you definitely have to keep yourself engaged and entertained while you're working on stuff. I have that where.
Yeah.
If I'm just not feeling something, like it just isn't going to click,
Yeah. I think both of you guys have the diligence to sort of like stick with it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's sort of my takeaway from your guys' work is that, oh my gosh, these guys have the tenacity and longevity. You guys are running marathons. I kind of want to get it over with, right?
Right. As far as you mean executing a piece from beginning to end? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I get to a point where I go like, I think I've learned everything that I can learn from doing this exercise. And so I'm out. I'm done, right? I think you guys have more tenacity.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a certain amount of attention I can give to each piece though. And then I kind of have a built-in sense of like when it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Or if a piece is working, if it's not, when to jump ship, when to start over. Like you kind of I think after a while you kind of develop a sense of your own style and how long it should take to do things. And, I'm definitely not afraid to ever like abandon ship and start things over if I have to, Yeah,
Eric's the same way. Dude, someone's saying that Mark Texiera drew some of those comic books for the figures.
I think that's right.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That makes sense in a strange way.
Yeah, Jim, that looks awesome, dude. Dude, I love the trunks, the texture you got going in there. That is
thanks.
Awesome.
I feel like, it's funny because with He-Man, I think he's such a great character that each artist can add their own exaggeration onto this and onto the anatomy. So part of me is almost like you could trace this drawing and just make his arms like ridiculously big and just, the head small and make even a more cartoony shape out of all of this. Right now, this is sort of like 20-year-old He-Man, like he's still in training, he's still getting ripped. But if you saw like 25-year-old, 30-year-old He-Man, he would be bigger and bulkier and more
and dangerous. Dark Knight. What about the Dark Knight version of He-Man? How would that look?
The 60-year-old
grizzled master of the universe,
Yeah.
He would have down to his torso.
He'd have he'd have to have the beard for sure.
Yeah, definitely would definitely need the beard.
That would be great.
And you know what? He would have one melted hand.
As tribute.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It sounds like a Simon Bisley He-Man, Amato said.
Who melted that hand? It was a small child.
He just went store to store, melting hand.
Eric's the guy controlling Grayskull at that point, melting hands of all the heroes.
Oh right, that was the mythology, right? Like who gets to control Grayskull?
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
In the comics, that's what it was. Yeah. By the time you saw it, oh God, I'm going to go into fucking.
Eric, maybe that's the bootleg you need to do, like the like older He-Man, the Dark Knight version.
Do you guys know? I mean, chat would probably know. Does anybody know if they ever collected all of the He-Man comics into one definitive collection? The ones that came with. I suspect they did. If there's money to be made,
that has to exist.
At least I'm sure there's a PDF of that floating around somewhere at the very least.
Because that's a story I'd like to tell. I'd love to draw that. At least my take of it,
Dude, you should totally do that. Just make it 48 pages, knock it out, Kickstarter.
Call it something else,
Yeah.
Did you know in the relaunch in the 2000s, the version that I worked on, it's the first time that they were very aware of the Iron Cross on his chest.
Really?
They actively took that off. Now, if you go take a look, it's actually a very stylized H.
No shit.
Really?
No shit. Yeah. Because they were very critical of everything that could be misconstrued as something that potentially could be long-term offensive.
You know what? I figured out the name for your character, and if you do that, Eric.
Yeah.
Honan.
Melted Hands McGee. Oh, yours is better.
Honan.
Honan.
Yeah, we're gonna move 3 units. Yeah. Thanks, Shawn.
Old man He-Man.
Old man Honan.
Old man Honan.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna think about that, Shawn, and not do it. Okay, I'm just telling you ahead of time.
All right, just do the comic. Don't use my stupid names, but definitely do the comic. I think that'd be awesome.
I wonder what kind of trouble I'd get into. Jim, what are the landmines I should be paying attention to?
That's a good question because I just sort of dove head first into the project, and but honestly, man, I think bootleg comics and parody is becoming such a big part of pop culture that I think the big corporations are just sort of kind of looking the other way.
I think it's giving some of their properties some new life too.
It is basically just an ad for their shit. I mean, in a way,
exactly.
I guess when I was promoting the shit out of Savage Street Vigilante, in a way, it does almost become an ad for the actual established character.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they wanted to do a Batman series based on the look of your Batman book.
Is that true? That's cool. Did Shawn
yeah,
just blow that up?
Yeah, let's not get into that. But
Shawn,
yeah,
boo, Shawn.
No, it's all good.
Here, He-Man with a metal hand.
There's absolute Batman, which is like that is a bootleg Batman as far as DC is kind of concerned. I mean, that's like a street brawling, more violent, you know. And it's a fun book. It's a cool book. Nick Dragata's the shit. I love his stuff.
Yeah, Nick's awesome.
And he was on the show recently.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast recently. Definitely.
Will he come on this show?
I could ask him.
Probably too busy, but
probably got pissed off by that podcast.
I mean, we could do like an absolute Batman episode, and Nick could just work on his pages, so it wouldn't like take any time away from him.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's like just come on our stream and let us annoy you with questions while you ink pages that are due.
Let's make you the most inefficient as far as your output is concerned for 3 hours or 2 hours. Yeah, you know you have the deadline. Yeah, F those deadlines.
Exactly.
All right, boys, we're getting near the end here.
What time? Oh yeah, we still have. I didn't look at the chat at all. Are we good, Jamie? On any questions?
Yeah, I think Jamie's been keeping up with it. I'm scrolling through the chat now.
Yeah, I've just been looking through. One thing I was going to point out was that they did collect those comics that came with the toys, apparently. Savage Sword of He-Man. Dark Horse did one.
Oh.
Well.
Wow, it's called Savage Sword. That's not derivative. Know, that's pretty fucking blatant. Okay.
But I mean, if you think about it, it's exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? Which is like it was inspired by that, you know, the Conan license that they couldn't quite get, you know?
Right.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
I bet that's just like their tip of the hat to saying like, hey, remember where this all came from, you know?
That's a good point.
Oh, wait, no. He said that was just him giving titles. That's my bad.
Damn it.
But he said they did collect them. They did collect them.
Okay. Yeah, because that seems like, wow, you guys didn't get in trouble for...
Dude, here's someone... I'm just looking at all the action figures people are bringing up. I remember Mechaneck. Remember that one?
Yeah, dude.
That was a cool one. Mechaneck was awesome.
Now, some of these, like, obviously there was a playability component to all of these toys, right? They wanted to infuse it with some level of like, hey, look at this mechanism, look at this play feature or whatever. What the fuck was that guy, man? You know, like when I had him as a figure, I'd actively put him behind a wall, and that's his function, is to be like, look over this wall, dude. Oh yeah, this is over there. Right. You know, like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I think every line of toys had the sort of dud kind of figure. In G.I. Joe, there was in the very first series, there was just like the generic trooper, the
grunt, right?
Right, and like Stalker was awesome. I think he might have literally been called Grunt. Right. If Chris Pierce is in the chat, he knows he's a G.I. Joe expert.
He said Grunt.
Okay.
Nice.
So, guys, we got a little Berserker He-Man. We got a Godzilla mashup with Masters of the Universe.
Great Skeletor face, Jim. Well done.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that Trap Jaw is awesome. I didn't see that before, Jim. That's awesome.
Bonus Trap Jaw there, Shawn.
Nice.
There we go.
Is that it? We're at 5 minutes till closing the show.
Get my Orko.
Nice, man.
Eric, someone was asking in the chat if you have any new work in the pipeline or anything to promote.
A bootleg E-Man comic.
Bootleg, yeah, for sure. That's gonna be it. That's what I'm promoting. Tell me I'm not gonna do that. I'm so doing it. No, I don't have anything in the meantime. I've just been taking on a ton of different freelance, and it's been pretty dang exciting. Yeah, so
nice, man.
Do I promote other people's stuff? Like I did a bunch of Fortnite stuff. Like, does that count?
Someone commented on that earlier, said it looked great.
Did you do a loading screen?
I did. Multiple at
nice.
this point. Yeah.
How many have you done, Eric?
4, I can't recall.
Nice. And Jim, you've done about that too, right?
Yeah. Well, a little bit more than that, but I don't want to.
It's okay, Jim. Jeez.
I've done 6 to 7 total. I've done 6 to 7.
There it is.
They're great to work with. I like those guys.
They make it easy. They make it really, really easy.
Kickstarter is just full of bootleg comics right now.
Is it really? Who's saying that?
Right. In the comments. Yeah.
There's so much bootleg crap on Kickstarter. I think Eric making comics would just be a fit there. No, yeah. It might be fun. It's like people are just randomly taking a pre-existing IP and saying like, let's bootleg the heck out of X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with it, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I think what the key there is as long as it's not derivative to the point of, hey, you're just taking this Batman logo, and putting it straight up on.
Right.
You got to be creative.
You got to breathe some life into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone would Daniel Goodwin would rather see original content from you, Eric.
Okay.
Well, you can. It's called Arcathena.
Too late. I don't have any. I'm bereft of original ideas, you guys. No, to Jim's point, Arcathena books 4 and 5 is on its way. The only preventative, the sad part is everything clearly just funnels through me. I have yet to finish the trailer. The trailer is the last thing, and then it goes live.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice. I'm stoked for that.
Excellent, man.
That'll be
Should we get out of here, gentlemen?
Let's call it.
That sounds awesome.
What's up, Kazra? People without ideas don't say bereft.
Kasra, what up, dude? All you guys, please join us on Sunday for another Inkpulp Live casual hangout in your underwear and draw and
that's not the prerequisite.
Sip on lemonade.
Jim's trying to sell the pro underwear angle of the.
I'm gonna be in my. I'm gonna be in my underwear. I think
that's the only thing you're gonna be wearing, right? Right?
It might be. It might be.
You never know.
Yes. So, guys, 5 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Join us. And I've got some cool announcements for the Kickstarter that I'll give you guys on Sunday.
Hell yeah! Everybody have a blast at Heroes Con this weekend. Give each other a high five and a hug for us.
Yeah.
Tell
we're kind
Shelton
of doing
and the crew we said hello. We love them all.
Yeah. We're not even competing with Heroes because we go live right as they're ending, so it should be good.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
All
Jazzy
right,
Jamie, get some sleep, buddy.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Eric, for coming on board.
Eric, thanks, man.
Allow me to talk He-Man and Masters of the Universe with you guys. All right, gents. Thank you.
And the big horror movie, the creeper.
Yeah, the one that you guys helped me write and plan all in the span of 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
See you guys.
Jamie, take us out of here.